Assalamu alaikum class 6. Today we are going to read English text unit 2 named Chinese Cinderella. I have already highlighted the difficult words. You are supposed to learn the spellings so that these can be taken in your English dictation. Now open page number 22 in your books. At the time of my birth, big sister was 6.5 years old. My three brothers were 5, 4 and 3. They blamed me for causing Mama's death and never forgave me. Point number 2. A year later, father remarried our stepmother, whom we called Niang. Was a 17-year-old Eurasian beauty, 14 years his junior. Father always introduced her to his friends as his French wife, though she was actually half French and half Chinese. Besides Chinese, she spoke French and English. She was almost as tall as father, stood very straight and dressed only in French clothes, many of which came from Paris. Her thick, wavy black hair never had a curl out of place. Her large, dark brown eyes were fringed with long, thick lashes. She wore heavy makeup, expensive French perfume, and many diamonds and pearls. It was grandmother Nana who told us to call her Niang, another Chinese term for mother. Point number 3. A year after their wedding, they had a son, fourth brother, followed by a daughter, little sister. There were now 7 of us, 5 children from father's first wife and 2 from our stepmother Niang. Move on to page number 23. Point number 4. Apart from father and Niang, we lived with grandfather Ye, grandmother Nana, and Aunt Baba in a big house in the French concession of Tianjin, a city port on the northeast coast of China. Aunt Baba was our father's older sister. As she was meek, shy, unmarried, and had no money of her own, my parents ordered her to take care of me. From an early age, I slept in a cot in her room. This suited me well because that way I grew to know her better and better. Perhaps inevitably, under the circumstances, we came to love each other very deeply and to share a life apart from the rest of the family. Point number 5. Many years ago, China had lost a war known as the Opium War against England and France. As a result, many coastal cities in China, such as Tianjin and Shanghai, came to be occupied by foreign soldiers. Point number 6. The conquerors parceled out the best areas of these treaty ports for themselves, claiming them as their territories or concessions. Tianjin's French concession was like a little piece of Paris transplanted into the center of this big Chinese city. Our house was built in the French style and looked as if it had been lifted from one of the tree-shaded avenues near the Eiffel Tower. Surrounded by a charming garden, it had porches, balconies, bow windows, awning, and a slanted tile roof. Across the street stood St. Louis Catholic Boys' School, where the teachers were French missionaries. Now move on to page number 24. Point number 7. In December 1941, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, the United States became involved in the Second World War. Although Tianjin was occupied by the Japanese, the French concession continued to be governed by French officials. French policemen strutted about looking important and barking out orders in their own language, which they expected everyone to understand and obey. Thank you.